What can you say? When you got it all, you got it all. CKF Knives, Custom Knife Factory. And what do we have? We have the DCPT Tano. Came out just recently. I saw it, and I must possess it. And for some reason, they're not giving them away. Yes. $971. You can finger flick it. Very light detent on this. Quick over the detent ball, though, so fidget factor is really good. 4.3-inch blade. 9.8 inches overall. Titanium frame lock. Or if you want to call it a liner lock, you can. Here's the piece of the frame over here. This is a Alexei Konyagin design. And he did that Decepticon 1, 2, 3, 4, the little mini, and here you go. If you want to call it the 5, you can call it the Tano, you can call it whatever you want. And this pocket clip did not come on the knife. It came with the knife as an extra. So, as in the CK knives, and I'll get my junk out of the trunk. There you go. Number 91. And of course, they made them in S90, V, and 20CV. Yeah, titanium, of course, zirconium, and there's no carbon fiber in here, but yeah, cool. Microfiber cloth. Extra hardware. There you go. Next, your rebate check. 10 rubles. 61. Well, this is an old one. 1961, 10 rubles. Cool. And the original clip, like I said, it was here. Okay, so they had the original clip, and then they had this spare Damascus one, which was nice. Okay, get to that later. But there you go. There's pivot hardware and what you got, a hardened steel insert, an extra one in here, looks like, yes. And there's your bearings. And yeah, extras. It's interesting that here's the pivot surrounds that are extras, okay, as opposed to the ones that look to be Damascus or whatever. The zirconium screws here. But they have it out of the box like this. But they have the other pocket clip on the knife, which I found interesting because, you know, if you're going to do that, then have this one on the knife with the Damascus, and then have the standard pivot surrounds with the standard pocket clip to match all the way around if you're going to do it that way. But they mixed it. So they have these surrounds, but then they had the other clip. So, of course, everybody I've seen has immediately taken off the other clip and put on the Damascus clip because they like it that way. And for me, it makes the knife symmetrical then, because it gives it symmetry in design because you have these and then you have this, it sets it off. So to me, that's important. But it's nice that you have the plain one and the plain surrounds, you know, that you can change off to. So it's nice to have the extra hardware, that's for sure. So how big an old boy is this? Wow, that's huge. Let's measure it out real quick and we'll weigh it. Yeah, I'm going to bring the Snafu in on this here in a minute. Down here to the very back of that front cutaway choil area, 4.5. So 110, 112, 13. millimeters. Now, you bring it up here, you got they're saying 4.3, 4.29 inches. Okay. So 110 millimeters. Not 10 inches, 9 3/4, but you got 20, almost 25 centimeters. Let me see how fat it is across here. 0.57. So not that much, 14.5, and it should be about the same. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't care about the 0.00, whatever. 0.155. Really? There you go. 4 millimeter. You're into 4 millimeter blade stock, which I figured. These are interesting. The way they fasten here. I think this is the little dog that fits in there. Yeah, the number 3, and yes, the number 3. So it makes it easy to pull apart, which I will take this apart, by the way. And we can take a look at it. I pulled it apart already because I switched out the pocket clip, and the pocket clip is screwed on from behind. So, yeah, it comes apart, goes together really good. The action on it, like I said, gets over the detent ball very quickly. Very guillotine-like, though. And I'm sure you could probably adjust the pivot to make it a little less so. The design flow's really nice. And let's get a weight on it. $182 grams. Bring us back around to ounces, 6.45 ounces. Now, the Snafu. There you go, the Rosenti design Snafu 2. How much does that weigh? 5.5. So it's an ounce lighter. Let's get these out here. Now let's get this pushed to the side. But, of course, the Tano, I'm just going to call it Tano. It's DCPT Tano, whatever. Bigger knife. This is smaller. And instead of 10 inches, what do we got on this, by the way? Yeah, not quite 9. So 8 3/4. About a 4-inch blade. So 4-inch blade, 4.3-inch blade. But overall, the handle's longer as well. So about an inch longer overall than this one. Now, which one would be handier to carry around, etc.? Oh, this one. Yeah, it's lighter. The design flows. The blade looks more useful, more sensible. Nice choil up here for getting down on things. More controllable, you know. So there's a lot of things design-wise that I like about the Snafu as well. But in my review, if you remember, or if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I was like, okay, so you got this Damascus little surround here, or whatever it is, and on the back, nothing here, nothing. And then they didn't set it off and didn't give you a pocket clip that was Damascus. And then the machining on the front, no machining on the back. So plain on the back. So here's why I like the Tano front machining, okay? And Damascus surround. Back, Damascus surround. And pocket clip, okay? And this is not just a plain slab like this is. It's also machined. Now, I get it. I mean, there's a reason it kind of has to be on this one. But still, it gives it more symmetry in the design as far as I'm concerned. So the backside almost looks better than the front, doesn't it? I mean, you got that pocket clip, bang. But here, the backside, pretty boring. The front side, got some pop here. Some nice lines here. And beautiful design. Really, the Snafu, is that a more beautiful design? Yes. But the Tano, more symmetrical and interesting, and it's a beast. Of course it's a beast. And it's heavier, yes. Is it very practical carry? No. And at $971, not a terribly practical knife to carry at that price. This is $645. So, you know, this is not bargain basement either, but this one, not as friendly to finger flick because you've got these stops right down here hitting the frame as you have them, because they are the blade stop. But, you know, they're down here so close. You really, for me, this is very difficult to finger flick. Very difficult. This one, much easier, but different design, of course. There's your stop right there. M390, did I mention? So they made, well, when I was reading the card, S90V and CPM 20CV, and then M390. M390, they made 200 of these. In the CPM 20CV, they made 100. In the S90V, they made 100. So there's only 100 of each made in the other two, and there's 200 of them made in this, which I'm fine with this. This or the 20CV would have been fine. I don't think I'd chase the S90 for any particular reason. But yeah, cleaner, nicer, more sensible, more plain design on the Snafu. This is going to be more controversial because of the kind of design it is. And, oh, by the way, let me sling some paper at you. I mean, it wouldn't be one of my reviews unless I did. So here's the knife, okay? And here's your stats so you can pause and read, etc., etc. 9.72, 4.29, blah, 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 stone wash, flat grind, plain edge, etc. Okay? And yes, we've got, yes, that's right, on the Alexei is the designer. And so here you go. Oh, I would just threw these in because that's the S90V and the CPM 20CV. Yes, all knives are numbered. But then here you go with the Decepticon 1. Okay. Decepticon 2. Decepticon 3. DCPT and the DCPT 4. The smaller knife, much smaller. And then the little mini that they did. Okay. And then, of course, I guess you can call this the number 5. You can call it Tano or whatever. So, difference in detent between the two knives, that's for sure. This one's stronger detent, this one. This one, much more relaxed detent. Very weak. Hold on. There you go. Boom. Easy. This, on my scale of 1 to 10, with most knives being anywhere from 3.6 to 6.0, and most of the knives being somewhere in the 4.5 to 5.5 range. This is a 3.5 at best, like that. So this is the way I could flip open like the Wii Zeta or the Wii Eschaton, that kind of thing. This is very wrist, you know, flickable like that. Not a problem at all. So very light detent, easy to finger flick. This one, this is murderous on me to try and finger flick because these thumb studs are right up against the frame. Doesn't really give me much to work with there. I mean, that's a beast. And I'm pushing probably on the lock bar, I imagine, when I'm doing that. But I really have to position myself in a certain way to kick it open with my middle finger. Not pleasant at all, not fun. So use the flipper tab. On this one, not a problem, very intuitive. This one, yeah, easy. Multi-row bearings, but the detent, no, nowhere near the same. Easy, pop it open. It's one of the deployment methods, okay? So if you want to go down that route, yeah, easy to deploy like that. Big sucker, reverse grip. It's comfortable. I'm here. I'm right here with this finger, so I'm not going over. If you had much bigger hands than me, you're going to be probably spread out like this, which still is not that uncomfortable. So here you go for the ergos. I'm tucking right in here, and it's giving me really good purchase on the knife, and we've got jimping at the top, like thumb ramp-ish area. Jimping out here as well. A cutaway, and yes, you should be able to sharpen this, even with the grind being the way it is. Like a bead blast, it looks like, on the actual grind area where the flats look satin. Little top swedge there. Whew. Yeah. Feels good in the hand. I like the back spacer. That's got some jimping on it, and it's above grade there, so you can feel that. Where do you want to put a lanyard? I guess you can choose, but probably through here. Maybe even be able to thread one through this little tail section down here. Pretty cool. So I don't know that I've got anything profound to say about it other than let's take it apart. And there's our tool to do it with. So let's kick it in. In fact, yeah, let's swap it out of one of these others. Let's do this. What do you say? Let's take it apart. I'll show you something on this that you don't get to see everything from the outside here. So unscrew this with the little pivot surround. There's your pivot screw with surround. So move it up north here. Okay. None of these screws are very deep. Come on. There you go. They're not very... They're all the same. They're not very deep. And then, here you go. Number 3. Looking through the camera is always fun. Okay. Get out of there. There you go. Okay, we got these 3 off. So this just lays over the bunch right there. Alrighty. Next, another situation where you have a number 6 right here. So that's what you can't see from the outside. Okay, now, other than that, nothing. And there's where your blade stop pin goes through. So it should peel off. Just like that. Hold on, hold on. And here goes the back spacer. And there comes one of the screws from the other side. And here's this screw. Deep, huh? So it goes, there's that side, as you can see. There's the inside, of course. There's your steel washer right here in the titanium. There's that screw. It went all the way through here. Okay, and into the back side of this, looks like. Holding it all together in that way. Here's another locator here for that back spacer. Hold on, let's not get too rowdy with this, but see what I'm saying? And then, of course, this fell out of here. This was through here, you know, etc. But we'll leave it alone. There's the backspacer, gone, and the little locator pin there, gone. Multi-row ceramic bearings, right there. And yeah, got a little bit of light lube because I put it back together that way. Blade stop, comes out, goes in, whatever. There's your zirconium pin from the other side. There, and your steel washer. And of course, this all comes off here. That's the back side. Here's the lock bar with a ceramic detent ball. And there's the screw holding the lock bar insert in. So we've got bearings. We've got a pretty heavy duty blade stop there. Nothing terribly complex, but you know, a few more layers involved here. Other than that, no big thing. All right, there we go, disassembled, except I didn't take the pocket clip off. You can see how it's screwed in from the underneath. Those are number 6s. I can tell you that because I'm the one that swapped out the pocket clip from the original that was on there. Let's put this baby back together. We could do it like this. You know what? Let's do it like this. Here's our lock bar side. Okay. So just keep in mind, you've got these two zirconium pieces that go through from the back side, and the screws come in from the front. They're different size. Take these pins and take a look at them. This one is 5.9. This one here is 5.4. So they're different. This is the body screw. This is the pivot. In case you were wondering, because I got them switched around when I was starting to reassemble it, and then I realized, wow, this is really got a lot of slop in there. And then tried this one. No. Okay, so that's when it occurred to me, wow, we've got different sizes. That was interesting because they look really close. It's hard to eyeball that. But just keep that in mind. You can tell when you reassemble it just by the amount of play you've got there. So there you go. I just thought I'd throw that out there for you. Oh, fall apart. Here we go. Put it back in here. Hold on. I'm trying to get my damn lube with the other hand. So I'm going to throw a little bit on here, around here. What are we going to do on this blade? There. And there, and also let's kick the little bit on that, run it around the detent track. Okay, so we need this to go through here. See, and that's okay, that's solid. Then we've got that little pin, wherever it is, that's for the backspacer, and then this is that hog, and these are different sizes too, by the way, in case you're interested. There's a 0.33, 0.38. Got it? So there you go. Backspacer kicks right on here. Let's see if we can hold all this mess together with our fingers and keep these from falling back out. Here we go. This, but you know, multi-row ceramic bearings, nice. Let's face the blade towards the back. Spacer. Kick it on. Throw this in. And I got to remember to do everything I need to do with this. It's a little bit more difficult to reassemble than not. Okay. So this has got to go here. Well, hell with it. Just throw it on here. Here. And if I got anything else, no. But I got to sandwich this together. Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm out of camera. I'm looking around the camera. Okay, so I got this sandwiched in. Now, this is the outer. So I do have this long screw that still goes in. Oh, man. Like I said, trying to hold it all together. Okay, there we go. Now, number 6. Come on through. Okay, got you tightened down. So that should hold these layers together, except these pins will fall back out real easy. Oh, crap. I just realized it. Did you see that? I didn't put the surround in here. So I'll pop that back out real quick. There we go. And there's the surround. Thank you, sir. Put you back through. And of course, no, when we get to that side, we will. Here. Put you back in. Good thing that screw's there to hold this thing together while I'm doing this, actually. Then we put our surround in from this side. Don't throw it on the floor. Okay. And one of the zirconiums. And my little... Come on. There we go. Pop this through. Let's make sure we got this exactly right. And we do. And next, this. Okay. Okay, that's solid. This one felt a little funky, but let's see if we're... Let's see how we feel about this. Are we doing something weird? No, that's okay. Okay. That's okay. We're good. All right. Now we got to be careful about how we want to do our pivot. And center it up. Don't get overzealous. Although the drop has always been very guillotine-ish, so let's give it a little extra. I mean, you can see that it's flush there. But I'll guarantee you that's a little guillotine-ish, so let's give it a little extra push. Ooh, we're going to move it. Well, let me see if that's... Yeah, that's still centered. Okay. Now, let me see where we are. Well, still pretty guillotine. Okay. Let me see if I can actually push this a little bit to be a little bit more hydraulic. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, we're still centered. Okay. I don't want to tighten it down any tighter than that. I think I'm good. I'm done. Okay, yeah, I'm done. The DCPT Tano. Decepticon 5. Whatever you want to call it. All back together. Crazy big knife. Insane. But really easy to finger flick. Huge knife. Blade shape. Not the most sensible in the world. But I think we're talking style points as opposed to sensibility necessarily. And of course, some knockout good looks with these Damascus. Nice zirconium here on this hardware. Just really good looking knife. I like it. Hope I don't like it too much because I might try and keep it. And that's a lot of knife to try and keep. But, wow. I'm sure it'll get some looks from the friends. My friends. Take care. Thank you so much for hanging out. I know it's been a long video, but whew, that's a lot of knife. At least you got your money's worth. Take care. Stay sharp.